Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and here I'm at the municipal market of Cabanyal, a suburb of the city of Valencia in Spain. Valencia is famous for its fruit and veg production. The Valencia orange is being grown here in many millions of trees. Also, the Huerta de Valencia is one of the most well-known areas for veggie production in all of Europe. Basically a frost-free climate, very dry, and we've had quite a drought in the last years. But basically Valencia is a very good place to find a lot of fruit and veg diversity. However, so far I was disappointed by most of the Valencia markets. The central market is great. The building is more like a palace or a cathedral. There are hundreds of vendors, or maybe about over 100 vendors inside. There are lots of tourists, but also lots of locals shopping there. A lot of rare fruit and veg and other rare foods. Good market. But the Mercado de Colón and the Mercat de Colón and the Mercat de la Crau, they've basically been killed by the modern restoration efforts. One, respectively two, fruit stalls in each of those huge markets, and apart from that, just fancy bars and restaurants. I hope the market of Cabanyal is going to be better. You can see it has been restored recently. Spain is throwing a lot of money at building new infrastructure. Most of this money comes from Germany. I wonder why we don't build the infrastructure in Germany with this money, but okay. But let's see. Okay, I'm pleasantly surprised. This market is nice and clean and modern, but it is alive. There are a lot of stalls, a lot of vendors, a decent number of customers. Let's see what we can find here. A lot of snails. I think this is cepea. And then there should be, do we have pomacia somewhere? No, just different types of cepea. And mixed with the snails, roasted peppers and eggplants. Here we have the eggplants and the peppers and zucchinis and round beans and lima beans and green asparagus. Funny, everybody likes green asparagus, only the Germans specialize in white asparagus. The ginger is imported, but the avocados are locally produced. The bananas are imported. I guess the corn is also imported in April. I mean, the climate here is basically frost-free, but still having ready corn in April, I don't think it's local. Tomatoes, those are from greenhouses. Greenhouses protect not only from cold, but also from wind and from drought. Potatoes, by the way, the new potato harvest is already there, but this is still the old harvest. Of course, the Valencia orange, apples and pears, which are more produced in the colder areas. Around here it's almost too warm for a good apple production. The cauliflower is local. The bananas are Cavendish bananas, but they are nationally produced in the Canary Islands, and they are dwarf Cavendish, not giant Cavendish. I wonder where the watermelons are from. The strawberries are local, as are the broad beans, as are the artichokes. We are in the artichoke season right now. As are the cucumbers, as are the lemons. Also the onions. This area is quite famous for its big yellow onions. The carrots are also local. Basically almost everything is local. It's not a tropical climate, but it's a mostly frost-free climate. So almost everything you see here is produced locally. Even the papayas, they look a bit dodgy because of the cold winter, but they also produced locally. Even the first apricots are ripe. Those are the typical Valencia apricots. The Ori mandarins. Valencia is one of the very few places in Europe which have a license to produce those. I don't know if the plums are local. If they are probably from greenhouses. The mangoes are not local. The Spanish mainland has a local mango production, but only in late summer, autumn and early winter, not now. I wonder if the melons are local. Melon, piel, variados, origin, Senegal. No, I thought so. It's a little bit too early. The loquats are local. I wonder if the blueberries are local. Right now they still mostly come from Cameroon. Oh, I think I'll get those strawberries. They are cheap. They are from Huelva, which seems to be more specialized in strawberries than Valencia, because despite the giant fruit and veg production around here, and strawberries are a fruit which is produced mostly like a vegetable, they are not on trees. A lot of them come from Huelva, and those are quite cheap actually. Again, Mandarins Ori. This is a superior late variety, which is very popular around here, I guess because it's quite good and because it's mostly produced here in Valencia and because it's late. We are in April. Let's see what else we get. Of course, there are a lot of meat shops and bread shops and stuff like that. Oh, look at that. Nueva, la patata nueva. This is the new potato harvest. They haven't been washed. By washing, you basically deteriorate the quality of them. They are fresh, still with the fresh soil on them. Oh, also here, the typical Valencia tomato. Most people know just the Valencia orange and maybe the Valencia bright mango, but there are Valencia tomatoes, Valencia strawberries, Valencia apricots, a lot of regional varieties around here because this has been such an important fruit and veg production. Cabbages, local, fava beans, local. That's the nice thing about those Mediterranean countries, Spain, Portugal. Portugal is not Mediterranean, but it's quite a mild climate. Italy, Turkey, Greece, most of the stuff is locally produced. Sweet potatoes are also locally produced. Yeah, the avocados, probably not locally because the avocado production here is still developing, but from Andalusia, which has quite a good avocado production. Check out all the pastries. Spain is great at pastries. The diversity here is not very great. You have basically everything you can expect and you should expect in a Mediterranean market in spring. Oh, look at that. The snails are escaping. But there is not too many fancy stuff. Here we have a couple plantains and manioc. I wonder if we can grow manioc here. Should be possible. Local herbs, the mangoes, those are usually from Brazil. Here we have tiny mangoes. I think those were from Colombia, and those are horribly expensive but really tasty. Of course, honey, the Mediterranean garrigue is, or as they call it here, matorrales and tomillares, giant dry areas dominated by thyme, tomillares, or rosemary, matorrales, and of course you can have millions of beehives on those flowering little bushes. Red potatoes. See what else we have here. Pretty much everything is local. Apart from the pineapples and the mangoes, I have seen almost nothing which is not local. And why is this market alive? But the other market of La Crau, which is like less than a kilometer away, is not there. Mushrooms, those are all cultivated mushrooms, but you also saw a couple wild mushrooms from the forests in the mountains. Not so many new things. Reddish beans. Here we have some artichoke leaves. I always thought it quite a waste, the giant artichoke plants just for those small buds, but you can also use the leaves and also basically the peduncles and petioles you can use. So the pears are from the province of Valencia. I still think they are more from the mountains. Chirimoyas. Spain is the biggest producer of this American fruit, and in Andalusia they have giant areas covered with chirimoyas. It's one of the tastiest fruits in the world. Piña del Monte, from the mountain. Del Monte. I think Del Monte is just a variety. I don't get it where they are from, but Spain has a domestic pineapple production. The island of El Hierro is specialized in pineapple production, but the quantity is so small that they basically supply the Canary Islands and sometimes a little bit the rest of Spain. Here we have a lot of lentils, corn, quinoa and other grains. This area is very well known for its big diversity of grains. They produce rice and tiger nuts, for example. Well, I guess that the quinoa is imported. Spinach, those thick mangolds. Oh, here we have a fava bean dehusking machine. This is some modern technology. Here, by the way, the rosemary. Yeah, almost nothing is imported. Well, the grapes are imported at this time. The mangoes and the pineapples. But apart from that, everything is 90% are locally grown. No, 80% are locally grown. 10% are grown in Spain. No, like 90% are locally grown. 5% are grown in the rest of Spain, and just the remaining 5% or even less are imported. That's quite amazing. Oh well, if I would continue the video much longer, I might find a couple additional fruit and veg, but I guess you got the idea. I'm happy that I finally found an alive suburban market without tourists. I'm the only one here, and I totally look like a tourist. I'm the only one having a sombrero indoors and in spring. I'm the only one filming and talking in English. I haven't seen a single person who doesn't look like they are locals just shopping for their daily cooking. Great that I found such a typical local market, folks. So stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich markets of Spain. And if you want to receive more such content, it's not enough to subscribe to my channel, because YouTube stopped recommending my videos even to subscribers. You should rather press the little bell icon in order to receive notifications of new uploads.